Alright, we're good to go there. We have the chat. Probably going to be a shorter stream. I say that every time, and I sometimes end up streaming really long. But no, for real this time. Exactly 1 hour stream today. I mean, it's a Monday. Who freaking wants to do work on a Monday? Am I right? Am I right, man? Boy, howdy. Okay, so VS Code updated, as you can see, and they've got this new cursed UI object. Oh my god, there's like navigation as if it's a browser. Oh, why? 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 Of all the things they could possibly have been working on, why this? You know what? There might have even already been a back button. I'm not sure, but I don't want that. I don't want that. VS Code, why? Oh my god, it's so frustrating. Is that what you wanted about, like, honestly, right? Like, go ask any person who uses VS Code and be like, hey, you know, would you pay some VS Code developers, you know, several $100,000 to go develop this new feature? Would you really? I have to believe the answer is no. God, that's so insane. That's so crazy. Oh my god. I don't know. I don't know how I should feel about it. I guess. Because I'm thinking to myself, like, would I apply that same logic to my game? Would I be like, oh man, I can't believe the game developer included this weird ass feature in their game. What a waste of time. So yeah, maybe that's fair. Huh. Well, I hope it doesn't break anything. Just talk myself right out of that argument. It's cool to hate VS Code, though. I mean, so far, VS Code hasn't been terribly offensive to me. But, you know, I don't really know any better. It's way better than Visual Studio. Like, Visual Studio takes 30 seconds to open. Whereas VS Code is it's just a text editor. It's just a text editor, and that's all I need it to be. And it sometimes has language features, but the language features don't work when I'm doing this remote development, so oh well. So, what are we supposed to be doing? I don't really know. I remember I ended Thursday's stream on kind of a cliffhanger, I guess. And as I mentioned that, I'm reminded about how impatient I currently am about development of the game. I feel like it's going so slow. But we were working on these things. We were refactoring the code. And I said to myself that it might seem silly to spend all this time like messing with underscores versus camel casing Um, but you like need to do that sometimes on your code base to feel like it's yours, to feel like you have some kind of ownership over it. Let me put some lotion on my hands because my hands are incredibly dry. And I think that like new sense of ownership is what enabled us to start doing actual work on the program. So, oh, and we had like a surprising lack of hideous bugs as well, which is pretty cool. Yeah. Um, key event message, spectator request. We, I think we had it working. Yeah. We have like this hello world thing going on. Right, and I want to be able to test that soon, quickly. I definitely need an else if here. Are these arguments right? They might be. Why do we need them clients? Oh, to validate the client ID. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, these arguments might be right. And I immediately forgot what the arguments were the second I went to go look at it. Yeah, I'm definitely not 100% here right now. Definitely tired. Oh, I hate coding on the Mac. Because I can't do this in a PyCharm, or at least I haven't learned how yet. And when you control left and right, it doesn't do like one word at a time. It does the whole line. God, I really need to figure out how to fix that on Mac. So... this is fourth to last argument. I want to see what it's called here. Aha, yeah, okay. Yeah, that looks right. Cool. You know, you want to keep consistent naming or whatever, consistently reference things, order the arguments consistently. Okay, and then we come over, nope, we don't open Discord. We come over here to the client. And we say, hey, client. Hey, client, will you? What do we need the client to do for us? We want this to happen. Yeah, we want this to happen, and we need to structure the request we're sending there. How do we do that? It probably looks something like this. Is that right? Yeah, send array buffer. I decided to have a little cup of cereal in lieu of a proper meal. Mostly because I forgot. And I'm kind of regretting it because I'm feeling quite hungry now. But that's the thing. I always do a workout before I take a shower, and then I stream like right after that. And sometimes I'll warm up some food while I'm in the shower, and then eat when I get out. And so it's like, what's weird is I don't know if the hunger is just because of the workout, or if it's like because I'm actually hungry. You know, it's weird. Okay, so what data do we actually want to send here? I'm sending 1 here. Why am I sending 1? I'm sending 1 because I think that's the actual correct thing to send. Okay. So if we send 3, and that's all we send, then we're great. We're good. We just do 4 bytes, and then boom, 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 and then it'll send us back the text. Well, you need to... What is this? Shouldn't you be a function? You are. Okay. Just making sure. We don't know what the data can be. It's an any. Okay, sure. Yeah, that seems right. I have a feeling this is going to break in some spectacular way. We'll just have to wait and find out. Let's go back over to the server and start it real quick. I have a feeling I'm going to have some kind of compilation error here. What is this? What is that parentheses doing there? Oh, I remember. Okay. $172? Oh, I didn't save it. I'm dumb. Okay, server's all right now. Okay, so I need to open up the game. Ah, so sleepy. Well, I can tell you already that this didn't work, but let me actually show it to you. Boop. There it is. Okay. We see blank. Oh, this isn't tall enough. Okay. Uh-huh. Can I ask the properties of undefined setting on message? Huh? Okay, detail. Tell me more. Something to do with when we're calling this. Oh. Yes. Yes, of course. Oh, I hate trailing white space. Oh my god, I hate trailing white space. How does it happen? Okay, we're going to run it again, and now we'll see what the actual state of the program is. Mm-hmm. Holy crap, look at that. This line's a little bit concerning, but we did get this. We did get that, and that really did just work. That simply did just work. Wow, that's great news. Very happy to hear that. I would like some explanation of 309. Okay, this explains a lot. Event.data.byte length doesn't exist. It's undefined. Event.data does exist, but it's not an array buffer. In this case, it's text. So byte length isn't going to do anything for us. I didn't need the empty string. Or the null character at the end of the string. So that's good. What I'd really like to do, however, is something slightly fancy. I really don't enjoy this socket interface currently. I really don't like it. How we want to use it, it just doesn't feel very flexible. What I'd really like to do is yeah, I'd like to wrap it in a promise. Yeah, I have to wrap it in a promise, because otherwise... I mean, the fact that I'm doing code every frame, I can kind of work around it. Like, this in and of itself is kind of a workaround already, right? Boo. You see, like, we're already waiting on this configure socket thing by constantly checking this .socket.ready state every frame. Is there a socket on ready? Is there a socket on ready? That would be interesting. Yeah, but what this really is just... This isn't even complete, right? There's 3 steps. We create the socket and then we configure it, and we have to wait for it when it's ready. That's step 1. Step 2, we send the request for the initial information. And then step 3, we do the things with the information once we've received it. So that would already be like 3 if statements, and that just looks terrible. There has to be an on ready, right? Okay, what's the most effective way for me to figure out this information? Let me go look up the WebSocket thing on Mozilla. Dude, I feel like I'm just like comatose. Why am I so slow at everything? You know, I've never used web workers. I feel like I'm missing out on something. It's like I'm not a serious programmer if I don't know how to do multi-threading, you know? And maybe that is true. You know, maybe that is true to some extent. On the other hand, at work I do work on a Lambda-based like cloud system, and that's technically a bunch of things running in parallel. So it's not it's not really multi-threading, which is hilarious. We're employing hundreds of single-thread computers, but we're not multi-threading. Is it really hundreds? Come to think of it, it might be. Maybe like an 100. But I think most of the time it's like 10 or 20. Which is hilarious. Honestly, oh my god. See, this is something you can't say even if you are like a super senior developer. You can't say crazy shit like I'm about to say, which is um if you rewrote the service in C, even single threaded C, you'd automatically get a 20x performance boost minimum. Like you'd probably get 10x just from rewriting it, even in the same language. And then you could probably get another 10 or maybe even 100x just by using a language that isn't Python to write it. And maybe writing some of the stuff that where performance is important by hand. Well, see, that's the thing. I guess by writing it in C, you'd sort of not be able to use all these fancy libraries that actually don't help the performance at all. But yeah, if you did all that, whole service could run on a single PC. Absolutely could run on a single PC, and you the costs of everything. See, the biggest cost of our service, I think, is the storage. And that's something I honestly don't know how to get around. That's just going to be a monthly cost forever. But I know the compute is really poorly optimized and like shitty. So, well, it's kind of not poorly optimized a little bit though, right? Like you have to. I should come to terms with the fact that because we're using Lambda, when the service isn't very busy, we don't have to pay very much. That is sort of one of the benefits. Whereas if you have a dedicated server, you're still paying for it during that time where it's not doing anything. I don't feel like that matters that much, but it's hard to make a convincing case. Especially when the whole team is already really proud of, like, dude, compared to 3 years ago, look, you weren't here, but 3 years ago our service was way more complicated and way slower. And I'm like, oh dear God. Oh dear God, man. That's not reassuring. At least we are getting some time to improve it, though, right? We've got close, we've got error, we've got message, we've got open. There's no on ready. This API. There's no on ready. There's no on ready, bro. There's no on ready, though. Gosh dang it. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe open is the equivalent of ready. This is, we don't get this is it. We don't get to. Okay. Okay. Maybe, okay. Look at this. Okay, I think I was wrong. I'm pretty sure I was wrong. Okay, how can we test how wrong I was? We can say this dot socket dot add event listener open function that maps from something to something. What are we doing on open? We're saying this dot request initial info. And actually, I'm gonna go ahead and like temporarily transpose the contents of this. Yeah, we're gonna do something like this. Yes, we're doing this nesting thingy. Okay, let's try this. Let's try this. Is my server dead? No, my server... No, yeah, no, I think my server's okay still somehow. Okay. Well, let's see what it did, right? Look, it did the thing. It did things. Okay. So we've learned that actually my initial disgust at the socket design was not warranted. I was expecting there to be an on ready, but actually it's ready state open, so okay. A promise, though. What we want is a promise. That's the next step here. Okay, this is a ChatGPT question, I think. Because this is a basic thing that I just don't know how to do, because I, like, never do it. I want to... can you please show me how to wrap the WebSocket on open and on message events with a promise? How about we just start with on open? Okay, I'm looking at it. It looks like a complete mess. I hate it. Okay, so promises are functions. Promises are functions. Wait, okay, this looks completely insane. Here, let me copy this. This is almost certainly like, you know, boilerplate at this point, but let's check it out. Let's check this out. Okay. We're gonna come over here. All right. So look at this. A function is this thing that wraps a function. Okay. And you pass in a resolve and a reject, which I guess are like, they're kind of like callbacks. Oh, look at this. This notation is so strange. A resolve is a function. These are both functions. Okay, I think that, yeah, I think this is how we do it. We're certainly not doing this. That's silly. Ha! You silly. You silly AI. You can't, you didn't read my mind. You didn't know that I'm always going to be connecting to this constant URL. Which honestly I should put somewhere. Okay, and we're gonna do an interesting little sequence here. Realistically, I should like put this at the top, but so we could do like this dot server, this dot. Huh. Is this a problem? Wait. Does not exist on type? You're lying to me. I did, yeah, that is what I meant to access, but it thinks that I should write it like this. But I don't think, but I don't think I should write it like that. Why can't, what, so what about this? This dot socket? No, I can't do that. Why? Probably because this bind is wrong. Let me think about this. A callback used to initialize the promise. The callback is passed two arguments. A resolve callback used to resolve the promise with a value or the result of another promise, and a reject callback used to reject blah blah blah. So why can I not do something crazy like this, where I do parentheses on you, and then I do like dot bind this, or dot bind, I don't know. Wait, oh. There we go. Let me go undo this monstrosity. Okay. Me trying to overcomplicate things. Okay, so we're gonna make a socket. We're gonna make a socket. I shouldn't stream, or I shouldn't. Well, that's true too, but I shouldn't whistle. I don't think whistling comes through very good on the mic, but I do tend to whistle a lot when I program. Okay, so we don't. We don't do any of this anymore. We don't do it. We don't do that crap anymore, you know? And, honestly, at that point, why would I even bother? Okay. Okay, and now we don't do the whole event listener thing. Because we will hopefully only ever need the socket to do one thing at a time. It would be kind of weird if that wasn't the case, I think. Okay, and we return the socket. That's silly. We don't need to return the socket. I'm wrong. Apparently it's not silly. Oh? This is a very helpful hint, I think. Or error. So are you saying that I can do void here? Talk to me. Do I do it here? No. Maybe this isn't helpful. Did you forget to include void in your type argument to promise? Explain. Do you mean that I do... Do I have to do this? You don't mean that I do that. I'm not gonna lie, that's a weird one. I'm not sure what to do about this. I think we copy and paste this. I'm gonna ask ChatGPT again. I want to not provide anything to the resolve function. Do you know I can do that? I got this error when I tried it. Hey, Unknown. I've been waiting for an hour for you to get on. Well, I don't know what to say. Okay, what is ChatGPT telling me? In TypeScript, when you create a promise, you can specify the type of the resolved value. If you want the promise to resolve without any value, you can define it like this. Oh. There, that's the magic. That's I was just figuring out the right place to sprinkle the void. There we go. I will keep you tab. Thank you. I'm curious, Unknown. How is your stuff going? Are you doing your programming things like a good boy? I don't know. I'm curious. I hope it's going well, whatever it is you're up to. So we've done it. We've promisified the WebSocket. At least this one small aspect of it. So this particular promise function thing will certainly use at least twice. And then, so this is only one of the steps that we need to do, though. The other step we want to do is this part. So once we've opened it, it's ready, and then we send a thing. We send a thing to it. Okay. Which request initial info. Right. Okay. So then we do like private static request initial info, which is already a function, I'm quite sure. Yes. Okay, and then we're doing this same thing again. Yeah, we're doing this promisification where we're returning we're not returning a result. We're returning the promise of a result. We will say we're promising to do something. And I could put that initial info someplace. See, here's the weird thing, is I'm not actually returning anything from these. I'm just, like, setting the result to a global, like, variable that's storing everything. Yeah, this dot table data, this dot last reported. Yeah. Which I guess is fine. That's an acceptable pattern. It's just a little bit unintuitive. Oh, and this isn't even doing anything. Right. The actually doing a thing with the data comes later. Okay. So actually, in this case, I need to return a string. Yeah. This returns a string promise, and then I do the thing with it. I do things with it. Okay. Now, do I want to store the doing things with it in a function? Probably. And this is not a promise. This is just literally doing things. This is completely synchronous. Okay. So this socket on message. So on message, we set it equal to message event, and we resolve with e.data. Aha. Which we know will be which we expect to be a string, although it's, you know, hard to say. The server could literally send us anything, I suppose. Okay. So you know what I'm a little bit confused by? Why? Huh. Yeah, it's weird that, like, this is the stuff, even though it's wrapped in a promise, this stuff, actually all of this, yeah, this all gets executed immediately, you know? It's weird. It feels weird. I don't... It just feels like magic. It's so unintuitive feeling. But we're sending data, right? We're sending things. This send happens here. Yes, we're sending the number 3 to our server. And on message, we resolve with the data, and if there's an error, we reject it. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. So that will work. That's 100%. That's bang on. That's totally bang on. And then we would do something with it that I haven't figured out yet, but we should, right now, we should just like console.log got the data. Right. Okay, and I'm gonna grab all these guys and move them up because they are one of the earliest things that we do on the page. Yes. And this whole configure socket thing can kind of just go away because we don't do that anymore. We don't do configuration anymore. Well, actually we do, but it's literally one line. Okay. And it's mad at me. It's mad at me. It's mad at me because I need to do this socket binary type is equal to array buffer. That's literally it. Okay, and finally we do this. And I assume that doing this promise will hopefully immediately make the socket not undefined. Because if that's not what happens, then I'm gonna be in trouble, and I'm gonna be running this promise sequence multiple times, and that's ugly. This dot request initial info, then this dot send. Wait. No. This dot get create. Yeah, create WebSocket, then request initial info. There we go. This looks like I know how to program. Although I wonder what's going to happen to the this, to the definition of the this. Then info. This dot process load initial info. There you go. Yeah. That's how I wanted to express it. That makes sense. If the socket's undefined, create a WebSocket, request the initial info, and then load the initial info. That's how it should work. 100%. I wonder if I should, like, make the tick rate of the server really fast, but, like, only process certain things faster. Yeah, maybe. That would certainly make, because the requesting the initial info thing is actually going to feel really slow. Like, this is something the user will actually have to wait for. Whereas all the other server stuff doesn't matter. It's going to be, like, the spectator won't really even feel it, I don't think. It's all going to be obfuscated by, like, latency and stuff. So, yeah, I'll keep that thought at the back of my head. Let's just see if this works. It didn't work because my server's not running. And it's not running because it received some data that caused it to crash, which is completely reasonable. Okay, we'll try again. I should have put print statements in there. There we go. We got the data. Hello world. Fantastic. Well, that's really great. All right. So now this should be relatively easy. What I want to do is I want to encode, where on earth is my commented out code that has that table data? Here it is. Oh, pardon the yawn. All we need to do is basically encode this data into a single string, as well as this value too, this like millis until match start thing. That's important. Although I haven't really programmed that in to the server yet. Yeah, I haven't programmed in this like global timer that's running constantly. Honestly, that's got to be super easy to write, right? Well, the one issue with it is that it's going to be this program that's running constantly. Oh, but I could just use like sleep, basically. I could just. I think you can sleep in C. I'd really like to not constantly use up my the CPU just doing nothing. How was your weekend? My weekend. Well, how was my weekend? Pretty mediocre. Yeah, I'd say my weekend was pretty mediocre. I'm generally not very productive on weekends. Um, because I don't know, weekends just kind of suck. I don't know what to do with them. But I mostly just played Genshin Impact for like constantly. Um, I did play some Deep Rock Galactic with a friend. Um, but that was only a few hours. I'd like to start up there I saw like on the local Reddit for my city someone's trying to start up a D&D campaign, and if that ran on Saturdays, that would be ideal. That would be a fun thing I can do on the weekends. You should have streamed it. I don't stream um I generally don't stream me gaming, partially because that's not it would sort of interfere with why I with the experience of gaming, because like I have a YouTube video playing while I'm playing the game, right? And I don't streaming is stressful. I don't know if you've ever done streaming before, or maybe it's just me personally that finds it stressful, but I don't. It's a lot. I wouldn't want to do that. Also, there's no gate. I don't have followers, right? Like it might be a different thing if I had like a bunch of followers and I could entertain people, and I could feel like there's people hanging out with me, and that would be fun. Um, no, streaming to like 0 or 1 viewer all the time. Um, well, streaming to 1 viewer would be infinitely better than zero. I assume I wouldn't be streaming to anybody, and it would just suck. But okay, I was gonna say the productive thing that I try to do on weekends, which I'm actually moderately proud of, is I'm trying to improve myself. I've got these bucket list things that I've always wanted to learn how to do. I'm learning piano. I'm learning. Um, I'm learning how to draw, and I'm learning how to read ancient Greek. Those things are not really related necessarily, but they're just things I happen to want to know how to do, and I think they're cool. And I'm very slowly learning how to do them because I only do them once a week. Side note: do you like pseudocode? Um, Pseudocode's okay. I'll sometimes use pseudocode in notes. This isn't pseudocode. But if I'm like trying to figure out how I'm gonna do some algorithm, sometimes I have to write it in pseudocode before I actually write it in regular code. I have to just like describe the thing I'm trying to do in English. Do you want to do my homework? I have never I've never wanted less to do your homework. I'm sure it's very exciting. I left school behind many years ago. However, if you wanted to do this fun little game where you you ask me questions that are short enough that I don't know for sure that you're just asking me questions from your homework and I can answer those, I'm willing to play that game. That's fun. Although you better do it quick because I I don't want to stream forever. Pseudocode in your homework. Does that mean, what does that mean? Yeah, that's an assignment I don't know if I've ever heard of. That's a structure of assignment that I'm unfamiliar with. I hate school, by the way. I spent 7 years in college. Never want to go back. Never. Not only do I never want to go back, it's after. So I have to. I have to finish this life mission first, which is finishing my game. After I finish my game, it is my life goal to replace the U.S. education system because I hate it so much. It's so bad. It's so bad. It makes me angry. That's no commentary on whether pseudocode is a good assignment or not. It may be a good assignment. Okay, so here's a fun thing. I think I remember thinking about this. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna basically delimit this text, right? I'm gonna do like info.split something. And I'm gonna hard code some delimiter. And I need to pick a delimiter that I'm reasonably certain will never appear in a song title, which is funny. What do I think is never going to appear in a song title? We could go pipe. Pipe is a pretty good one. We could go double dollar sign. No, we probably go pipe. Pipe dash pipe. Pipe zero pipe. Pipe O pipe. Pipe O underscore O pipe. Holy shit, why is that funny? All right, let's look at this. You can have a program which calculates the user's gross pay with or without overtime. You have to work backwards and use pseudocode to write an algorithm from the Java code. Okay. Boring. I hate homework. Yeah. Yeah, well, you want the piece of paper, so. Um, but you know, if you say that your homework is boring, you are obligated to prove that it's easy. It was due at 2 p.m. and you missed the deadline. All right. Well, this is a concerning pattern of behavior. Are you a bad student, unknown? Naughty, naughty. Not my problem anymore. Well, that's also true. I vaguely remember that in my programming classes, you were expected to write pseudocode in like a specific way. That's the thing that I don't like about how pseudocode is explained to people. Is it's like yeah, they treat pseudocode like it's a whole other programming language. which I think is very strange. Because if you're gonna make me use a programming language to express my ideas, then just write the program at that point. That's the one thing that I always thought was a bit strange. But I use pseudocode as a means. To me, it's just writing in English what my program is going to do. That's a useful skill because that's sort of a helpful tool for thinking. But otherwise, totally useless, in my opinion. It may be a helpful thing for like people to gradually learn a programming language. That's an argument, but I never had that problem because I already had programming experiences by the time I was taking the class. So a lot of what they were trying to teach me was totally useless. Or I shouldn't say useless, I should just say redundant. Because if you know how to program, you don't need a lot of these classes. You can just go and do programming. Okay, well don't get me started talking about the education system. Are you in the US, by the way? Because that's very relevant. Okay. The good only land of freedom, Eagle Screech, yes. Now that's my country. Good old America. Land of the free and home of the brave. Damn right. So I'm gonna say parts 0 is equal to, I'm just gonna set it equal to this, although I do need to do parse, what is this? Oh, this is a problem. I need to do times 1,000 because it's in milliseconds, and I need to do parse int. Yeah, I need to do parse int on that. Okay, and then the rest of these need to look like this somehow. I forget. What does my table look like? Hello, help me. I forgot my column names. It's not going to show me my column names because I didn't program it to do that. But yeah, I'm really frustrated with the college system. I guess my main complaint stems from how expensive it is. Well, this is not. You don't want that there. That's my main complaint, is that at this point, there are superior options for the price. So that's where I would start my critique. And then I would follow up my critique with saying, the professors are shit, the books are shit, and the whole degree is shit. It's all bad. What state am I in? Right now, I'm living in South Dakota, although when I was going to college, I was living in Florida. Some of the books are okay. They're way too expensive, actually. they're way too expensive and they're all proprietary. So like the rights management stuff is sort of what makes it expensive, and like the whole system around that is really messed up. Um, like gross, like disgusting. From someone who has like capitalistic ideals, I look at that marketplace and I'm like, oh god. You are a Southern ice. I don't know about that. See, the weird thing is, Florida is Southern, technically speaking, but it's really not. You know, like it's not part of the South. Florida is this weird thing that's like its own deal. Because it's so coastal, right? And there's actually a really wide variety of types of people that live there. It's also a massive state, like incredibly populous state. Um, and I did move to South Dakota until like very recently. You're from Chicago. Well, that's like kind of close. It's like kind of close, isn't Chicago? Really? Why? Why Chicago? Honestly, that's almost like someone telling me they're from New York. I don't. Oh, I hate cities. I hate cities. I don't like them. I don't like them at all. Why are you from Chicago? Yeah. How dare you know what? That's offensive. Just the fact that you were from Chicago. I don't think this is the stream for you, buddy. We don't take kindly to city slickers round here. Although I live in a city in South Dakota. One of the few. One of the few cities. Bro, I still don't know what my headers are. I'm so confused. Okay, wait, no, I remember now. It's the song name, it's the song difficulty, and then it's the number of players. That's right. That's right. So actually, all this data does come from the server. We do actually ask the server for all this information simultaneously. In the initial info request, do you ask for the number of players that are currently signed up for it? That's an interesting question. I would say probably no. I would say probably no for now. Do y'all have a football team? Probably. I don't follow sports. My mom was kind of big into sports a little bit. We followed the Miami Dolphins, right? They're actually kind of a good team, so that's something, I guess. Yeah, and I find sports so boring. I don't get it. I don't get sports. I don't know what's wrong with me. Like everyone, it's the normie thing to be into, and I don't get it. I simply don't get it. Ah, here we go. I could do like this. And then I'm gonna do num rows. I should use R and C. No, I'm going to use row and column. I'm insane like that. It's past the 1 hour mark. Yeah, I know it is, dude. I'm at 1 hour 22. What's the Chicago football team? Just to have a piece of trivia that I'm going to forget immediately. I can pretend the oh, of course. Of course, the Chicago is that just it? Is it? Hold on. It's not the Cubs. It's the Chicago Bears. Da Bears. Oh my god, I'll never forget that now. Of course it's the Bears. Of course it's the Bears. Yes. Okay. Well, see now, if I hear something interesting about the Bears, I'll just have that filed away and I can bring it up. And I can make fun of you because that's how the sports things work, right? It's like you're a fan of the Bears. If anything, if they do anything wrong, or if there's anything newsworthy about the Bears, then transitively that's something wrong about you or newsworthy about you. Yes, we suck. Oh, okay. All right. Well, I wasn't going to say it, but well, there it is. The thing you could say hurts us, law, we know. What do I do with this? This is a one-dimensional array that I want to turn into a two-dimensional array, basically. So, like... kind of what I want to do here is this dot table data is equal to an array. And then I want to be like that temp this is going to be a string double array. Oh, well, I don't, yeah, you can't set the type like that. I think I just do row data dot push this. I don't actually need an intermediate value variable to store it. Yeah, and then at the end, we do this dot table data dot push the row. That is like being a Dolphins fan. Is it? I thought the Dolphins was a good team. They, at one point in time, we had Dan Marino, and he was actually like a minor celebrity, and we were cool. Did that change? That must have changed. Or maybe... You know, maybe I was just, like, raised in a Dolphin family, and so, like, you know, I was gaslit into believing that we actually were a good team. I need to say if parts dot length. Oh, I need... Oh... Can I get rid of the first element in this array? I need to do that. How do I... dot... pop? Removes the last element from the array. I need the opposite of pop. Unshift. Inserts new elements at the start of the array. No, I need shift. Remove the first element from an array and returns it. Yeah, there we go. We remove the first element and return it. Now I can say if parts.length mod num columns is not equal to 0, then there's a problem. There we go. Okay, unreachable code, good. Hurry up through Miss. I know, I'm trying. Number, so this should work. And we're filling up the table data. This basically will work, I think. Yes, I do think this will basically work. I do think this will work. So I need to take this data and give it to my server to give to me as a test for testing purposes. Game server. The server doesn't need to be running right now. So rather than sending hello world back, I will now send bleh. This is all kinds of wrong currently. Okay. So boop, 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 boop. And we need our delimiter. We need our delimiter, which is pipe tilde tilde pipe. Yep. That value isn't supposed to be there. Yeah. So we're going song name, delimiter, song difficulty. Yes. Song name, song difficulty. This data isn't here yet. Song name. Song difficulty. This data isn't here yet. Song name. La la la. Song difficulty. And before all of that, we're also going to send the, I don't know, the number of seconds left, right? So we'll do like 30. Yes. Yes, that's the payload. And if did I code this correctly? It should handle a larger payload. Yeah, this should work. Now, we do have the problem of header size, which is going to try to mess me up if I'm not careful. So, how many columns? Column, you can see down here, column 152. I do believe this is going to exceed 125. Oh, sick. Yes, this one. This will just barely exceed 125, which means we need to do +4 here. Because that will imply a larger header size. Yes, we need a larger header size because of the limitations of things. Because of things. I think this will work. Does it compile? It compiles. Well, actually, let me pop over to here real quick. So let's see if we can set this. Because I think we have a check for this somewhere, right? Yes, we do. Yeah, we can't display the table until we've received initial info. So that's certainly going to be in load initial info. Actually, no, it's not going to be certain. It's not certainly going to be in there. Yeah, we put it here. How did I do what? What did I miss? How did I search it? Control F? Whatever you're highlighted, and you Control F it. Yeah. Pro tips. Oh, cool. Did you... Okay. Did you know that you can do this multi-cursor thing? Because that's one that most people don't know. You know you can do that in Chrome. Ah. Well, you can do it in VS Code as well. This is not the right way to be using it, by the way. This is complete nonsense. This is silliness. Okay, so we're loading the initial information. We're sticking it into table data. We're sticking it into last reported millions until match start, and we're saying that we received the initial info, which should allow us to actually then display it, as long as I'm setting all the flags correctly, which I believe I am. This dot displays. Oh, I need to do this. Right? I need to do this. Yes. Okay. Without further ado, I guess we just go. We just go. Ah. Huh. This is the data that we got. That's not right. Yeah, that's not right. No error happened here. So what's the deal? It got here. Oh, that's that's because the payload length is the wrong number. Worry not, we have a counter here, 129. Problem solved, I think. See, that was an easy one. That was neat. We don't have to wait until next time for that one. Okay. Refresh. Refresh. It'll for sure work this time. Nope. That's not for sure working. So that looks like the right data. But it's saying the data from the server isn't formatted as expected. So tell me why. 1, 2, 3. Ah, the data I'm sending it is wrong. Okay, that's my bad. There should be a number here. We got to put some number there. Let me check what the number was. This made up difficulty number that it doesn't matter if I get it right. 17. I'm gonna catch up with you tomorrow. All right, fine. Just leave me in my hour of need. No, it's fine. I don't want to guilt my viewers into watching me. So please feel free to come and go as you please. I appreciate you showing up in the first place. Thank you so much. Oh, come on. This is gonna be like 5 hours, dude. Come on. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There should be a number here. I didn't correct the new size of the payload. The new size of the payload is 135, so of course it would have cut off the message. Did I refresh? I confused compiling the server with doing npx webpack. Huh. That worked, but also something went wrong. That worked, but also something went wrong. I wonder if I'm not multiplying by 1,000 someplace where I should be multiplying by 1,000. No, look at this. I multiply by 1,000 right here. So it should be 30 seconds. It should be 30 seconds. I should end the stream. I should end the stream. I want to be done for the night. That's actually correct. This is actually correct. Although these maybe should be numbers rather than strings, but I think that's fine. So how does it decide that it's over already? Current millis until match start. So where's this supposed to get set? If this dot already sent initial info request, then This dot current millis until match start is equal to that. I set that, don't I? Oh, okay, this is important. I don't set this. I don't set this. This never gets set. That's a problem, though, isn't it? That's a problem, because I don't know the current millis when this .load initial info happens. But I can roughly estimate it by using performance.now, and that's basically just what I have to do if I want to keep using the promise systems. This dot, okay, so I need that. That was the missing piece, I think. Yeah. Okay. Now I think it should work. And I would be wrong. I would be wrong for thinking it should work. Just going to do npx webpack again, just to make sure it wasn't actually the order of the values there that mattered. Okay. Okay, I'll end the stream. I won't rabbit hole on this one bug. I should go. I'll figure it out next time. And it should be an easy solve. I'll figure it out next time. It should be an easy solve. Great. All right. Do your outro. Okay. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. I will probably be streaming tomorrow. Around the same time as I usually stream. And hopefully I'll have more energy because, wow, I've just been so super tired this whole stream. I don't know what's up with it. Although, the cereal did eventually help, and I was not as tired anymore. Also, Ella Known showing up was cool. But yeah, thanks again. Hope to see you tomorrow, or whenever I stream next. Until then, farewell.